Bob, today concerned South Bend residents gathered to address recent news. Children in one neighborhood in South Bend are suffering from high levels of lead in their blood. WSBT 22's Jesse Schultz joins us now live in the studio with more. And Jesse, this is not lead in the water that's hurting these kids.
Diane, it's from lead paint in older homes. Kids ingest the dust and chips that come off of it. Tests have shown that this is a problem in the northwest side of South Bend. But today, city officials actually got to see some of the faces of the families behind those statistics. Today, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg and people from the county health department held an informational meeting about lead exposure. But what the meeting leaders got exposed to were real-life stories from people in South Bend suffering from lead in their homes. One of those people is Christopher Davis. He's been living in this home since 2011. It's a home with lead paint. His kids, ages 6 and 4, both have high levels of exposure. He found out because the children were tested before starting school. Once they got the results back, they had everything in the house tested.
And they checked the windows, the doors, and everything, and they realized that all of our windows were lead painted.
He says the landlord doesn't help.
Lead is not something you can really do anything about unless completely restructuring your house. I mean, the walls, the doors.
And with a fixed income, Davis says he doesn't have money to do that. For now, it's paint on top of paint, a Band-Aid solution that doesn't completely solve the problem. And city officials acknowledge there is a lack of money to help people like Davis.
We've got to make sure that we're lining up resources to help families who need that support to make sure that their homes are a safe place for their children to live and grow up.
But Davis says his house isn't a safe place for his kids to grow up. And now, with a newborn, he's out of options.
There is no stoppage unless you take out all your windows, all your door, and that is a costly thing. Even if I owned my house, it would still cost $29,000 to redo everything.
Mayor Buttigieg says he wants to try and get help from state and federal agencies to help families with lead in their house. He says right now what's important is making sure people know they can get their kids tested for lead exposure. There's another meeting about this for residents coming up next month. It's February 9th at the Near Northwest Neighborhood Community Center in South Bend.